the scorched African savanna, a lone female leopard raises her cub in silence, while a baby elephant grows up in the protective arms of the whole herd. So what makes maternal love, in the harsh wilderness, become the most enduring strength here? African wilderness. Iron motherly love in the fierce war. Dawn on the African savanna is not the beginning of peace, but the first warning of the day. When the first rays of sunlight sweep across the dry land, each creature here begins a race against time, where survival is measured by each breath. On the scorched yellow grass, a slender figure appears in the thin layer of mist. Cheetah, Acinonyx jubatus, the fastest runner in the mammal world. With a streamlined body, broad chest, slender legs, and non-retractable claws, they are the embodiment of speed. A 4-second burst of speed could take her to over 100 kilometers per hour, enough to take down any antelope in sight. But today, the mother leopard wasn't hunting because she was hungry. She was hunting for her children. Hidden in the shade of a low acacia bush were 3 cubs, not yet 3 months old. Their fur was mottled. Each day was a challenge, not just to survive, but to learn, to become true hunters. The mother leopard didn't leave the nest for long. In one morning, she had to stalk, kill, and bring back prey before the sun came up, before hyenas, lions, or eagles discovered the nest. The wind changed. She stopped. Ahead was a herd of Thompson's gazelles. They hadn't yet detected her presence. She crouched low, her steps light as feathers. Ears erect. Eyes locked on the target. A lone cub. The moment came. The mother leopard shot out of the grass like a living arrow. Dust flies. Squeaks are short. The hunt is over in seconds. With extreme caution, she carries the prey back to the nest, head held high, ears always listening for noise. A rustle could be a hyena sniffing, but today, the savannah is quiet. Returning to her cubs, she drops the prey. Three cubs scurry towards her, clumsy with each bite. But the savannah is never truly safe. A prey can also be contested by hyenas if they are unlucky enough to detect its scent. In the wild, where every sound carries danger, speed is more than skill. It is life. And motherly love. It is what makes that speed unstoppable. On the other side of the savannah, the ground trembles under the footsteps of gentle giants. These are the African elephants, Loxodonta africana, the largest of all land mammals. But don't let their size fool you. In the wild, big doesn't mean safe, especially when you're a baby elephant. A newborn elephant, weighing nearly 100 kilograms, is still teetering on its own 2 feet. It doesn't know how to use its trunk. Its ears haven't learned to fan itself. Everything is strange and scary. And in that vulnerable moment, the outside world is waiting. Baby elephants are perfect targets for lions, leopards, and even crocodiles if they stray from the herd near a river. But nature has given baby elephants a precious privilege: solidarity. The herd is led by an older female, the matriarch, who keeps the memories of migrations, secret watering holes in the dry season, and strategies for dealing with predators. Around the baby elephant is a living fortress: sisters, aunts, grandmothers, all ready to circle, forming a giant gray wall to protect the little creature. In the heat of the afternoon, the elephants stopped to rest near a shady grove. The peaceful atmosphere was suddenly broken. In the distance, a group of lionesses was quietly approaching. They moved in a circular motion, coordinated like trained warriors. Their eyes locked on the smallest calf. The mother elephant detected the presence of the enemy first. She let out a deep, drawn-out roar, not loud, but enough to make everyone in the herd stop. The moving wall formed instantly. The largest individuals retreated behind the calf, ears spread wide, trunks coiled. The mother elephant stepped forward, head bowed, ready. The lion stopped. They knew the price of trying to advance a few more meters. The lions gave up, turned away. And when the danger had passed, the mother elephant returned to her calf, gently touching its forehead with her trunk, as if to say, "I am still here." The maternal instinct of elephants is not just to care, but to fight in an organized way. Every step, every call, every protective circle is proof of a society where the protection of its young is the strongest bond. And it is motherly love, not tusks, not weight, that is the most powerful weapon of these gentle giants. Under the harsh sun of the African savanna, when most predators are resting in the shade, one creature moves silently, without a sound, without a trace. The leopard, Panthera pardus, is the most solitary and mysterious predator in the world of big cats. On the high branches of an ancient acacia tree, a female leopard lies motionless, her golden fur speckled with black rosettes, blending perfectly with the light filtering through the foliage. Her serene appearance hides a creature designed to kill. Her body is compact but muscular. Her limbs are flexible. Her claws are sharp and retractable to keep them sharp when hunting. Her powerful jaws, keen sense of smell, and especially her eyes, which can see clearly in low light, make her a silent and deadly hunter. Unlike lions that live in prides or cheetahs that move strategically, leopards choose to live alone. Each female leopard has her own territory, dozens of square kilometers in size, where she hunts, rests, and raises her young, all alone. Under a dense bush not far away, the mother leopard has hidden her most precious possessions, her cubs, only a few weeks old. With their small bodies, their fur still fuzzy, their spots barely visible, they are completely dependent on their mother. Their eyes are large, their gait is awkward, and their hunting instincts are not yet formed. They are easy targets if discovered. In the first months of their lives, the cubs do not leave the nest. Each day, their mother leaves, leaving them alone, silent and invisible. There is no protection other than perfect concealment and the mother's punctual return. Now, as the sun reaches its zenith, the mother leopard senses the right moment. She climbs down from the tree branch, her body nimbly weaving through the bushes without stirring a blade of grass. Ahead, a herd of impalas grazed leisurely. They were agile animals, capable of leaping nearly 10 meters when running, with extremely sensitive hearing and vision. One wrong move, and all their efforts would be in vain. The mother cub crouched low to the ground. Her feet were soft as rubber, making no sound. Every step was carefully calculated. She chose her prey, a young impala that had strayed from the herd. The wind was favorable. No warning signal was given. Then, in a split second, she took off. The charge was like a spring off the ground, all her strength focused on speed and precision. The impala panicked and turned to run, but it was too late. A pounce, then a fatal bite to the throat, all in a matter of seconds. The mother quickly carried her prey to a nearby tree, using her expert climbing skills to pull the carcass high up, out of reach of the hyenas and lions. Up high, she ate the first part, then saved the rest, to bring back to her cub. Back in the bush where the cub waited, she let out a soft sound, half call, half reassurance. The cub poked its head out, rubbing against its mother's leg. Still awkward, but safe. In the bright light of the savannah, the leopard had not lost its silence. She was still a shadow moving through harsh landscapes. And more than that, a single but resilient mother, nurturing the next generation with skill, instinct, and absolute devotion. Amid the fine dust rising from the dry ground, a familiar sound spread across the savannah. Synchronized footsteps, a soft hiss like a whistle. Appearing like an organized whirlwind, the African wild dog, Lycaon pictus, charged with speed and purpose. But behind that disciplined exterior lies a society where sharing and caring for their young far exceeds that of any other carnivore. African wild dogs have distinctive patchy coats, each one unique, like an abstract painting of nature. With large, leaf-shaped ears that dissipate heat and enhance hearing, they are warriors of the savannah. But what sets them apart most, not their fangs nor their speed, is their almost unrivaled team spirit. A pack of wild dogs can number up to 20 individuals, sometimes more. There is only one breeding pair, the alpha male and alpha female, but the entire pack is responsible for caring for the pups that are born. It is a form of extended family, where each member is a protector. In a small cave on the edge of the bush, hidden from the harsh sunlight, a group of puppies, just a few days old, are huddled together, sleeping soundly under the close supervision of a young female. Not a biological mother, but a nanny assigned by the pack. Every day, the adults take turns hunting. With their siege and cooperation tactics, African wild dogs have the highest hunting success rate in the carnivore world, up to 80%, far surpassing lions and leopards. When they return with meat, the first thing they do is not eat it, but feed it back to the puppies, an amazing display of collective care. Any member of the pack can raise their pups this way, regardless of bloodline. On the dry ground, the puppies chase each other's tails, playing under the close watch of the pack's uncles and aunts. And when a call is heard in the distance, the pack immediately gathers, moving forward as one unit. In a wild world where survival instincts are often linked to competition and solitude, African wild dogs are proof that true strength lies in caring for each other, and that raising a new generation is not the responsibility of an individual, but the duty of the whole community. In the middle of a hot savanna, a lioness lies motionless under a low tree. 3 cubs nestled beside her, sleeping soundly in the steady breathing of their mother. They are only a few weeks old, weak, not yet fully open, and completely dependent on their mother for protection. Lions are the only big cats that live in prides. But when they give birth, the female lion always leaves the pride for the first few weeks, to hide her cubs from predators, hyenas, leopards, and even male lions, who are not their fathers. If the new male dominates the pride, he will hunt down and kill all the cubs to force the female back into heat. In that moment, the mother lion becomes a fierce protector, ready to confront her own kind to win the survival of her cubs. When the cubs are strong enough, she brings them back to the pride. From then on, all the females in the group will care for them, cross-feeding, keeping them warm, taking turns guarding. A maternal community, bound by blood and instinct. The mother lion does more than hunt. She nurtures, protects, and teaches the next generation of the wild kingdom. She has strength, strategy, and an unshakable heart. In the endless fields of the African savanna, where the sun burns the ground and the wind carries the scent of blood, dust, and survival, stories unfold every day, silently but fiercely. They are not glorious battles, not moments of domination, but the slow struggles to nurture a young life in the midst of a death spiral. From the lightning-like charge of a lone mother leopard, sacrificing her meal to lure the enemy away from her nest, from the impenetrable circle of a giant elephant herd, where each individual, old and young, is ready to build a living fortress to protect a toddler. From the shadow of a leopard, crawling in the sun, carrying each piece of meat up a tall tree, hidden from the world, reserved only for a single child waiting for its mother to return. From the absolute unity of a pack of African wild dogs, where there are no children of mine, only our children. to the fierce eyes and determined steps of a lioness, confronting enemies many times larger, just to fight for one more day of life for her little child. All these images are not just instinct. It is motherly love, an eternal language that all species understand. In a world where death lurks at every step, where the strongest are not necessarily the ones who survive, the most extraordinary thing lies not in claws or speed. It lies in patience, sacrifice, and silent, wordless love. That is how wild creatures continue to live. Not by winning, but by caring. Not by power, but by love. In what is considered the most cruel place on the planet, motherly love becomes the most powerful and lasting weapon. And in every run, every pounce, every lick or roar is a silent declaration. As long as mother lives, child will not be left behind.
In the scorching heat of the Kalahari, where every step could be the last, an explosive clash between the ruler and the unyielding horns. When the prey no longer runs away, the rebellion begins. Kalahari no escape. When the saber-horned oryx strikes back, under the harsh sunlight that penetrates the dry air, the Kalahari appears not as a dead desert, but as a living paradox. With its brilliant red sand stretching across South Africa, Botswana and Namibia, it has a long dry season, sparse vegetation, but is home to hundreds of animal species. Unlike other barren deserts, the Kalahari has grasslands interspersed with thorn bushes, creating ideal conditions for battles of wits between prey and predator. In the midst of the arid land that seems unable to sustain life, a creature walks proudly as if it were born from the red sand of the Kalahari. With a sturdy posture and long horns like swords pointing straight forward, the scimitar-horned oryx, also known as gemsbok. They are like real desert warriors. With silver-grey fur standing out against the red sand, with black edges on the legs, face and underbelly, every line on their body seems to be carved to reflect the wild beauty and survival power. But the most impressive feature is the pair of long straight horns, which can exceed 85 centimeters, like two swords rising from the top of the head, sharp and majestic. The scimitar-horned oryx lives in small herds of 5 to 30 animals, usually led by a male leader. They are mainly active in the early morning and late afternoon to avoid the scorching heat of the day. Notably, they are able to survive in extremely dry conditions without drinking water for many days. Instead, they draw water from succulent plants. During the mating season, to be able to compete for the right to mate with the females. The fights in the herd of antelopes will be fierce. At this time, two males will confront each other. They walk slowly, circling each other like two probing boxers. Heads bowed low, horns facing forward. Each step is a silent declaration of war. Each gaze is a hidden spark. Not a roar. Not a warning. Only the compression of instinct and power. Then suddenly, both of them rush at each other. Although the fight is bloodless, it is all for the opportunity to pass on the bloodline. The winner still shows nothing but a slow step towards the herd. Their breeding season lasts all year round, but the peak usually falls after the rainy season, when the grasslands revive and food sources are abundant. After about 8 to 9 months of pregnancy, the female antelope will separate from the herd, finding a secluded place to give birth. The calf can stand up after only a few minutes when born, but still has to lie hidden for a few days to avoid predators. When it is strong enough, it will join the herd. They begin their harsh life cycle in the driest desert of Africa. But even the sharp horns and fearless spirit of the scimitar oryx cannot erase a haunting that still lingers in the hot Kalahari wind. In the distance, the dust is quietly disturbed. A shadow moves along the burning sand, light as the wind, but carrying the weight of death. They do not need to show off, just have a presence. Lion. The most notorious predator of the savannah. With a body length of about 2.5 meters, a weight that can exceed 200 kilojoules in adult males, lions are a living mass of power. The thick mane, dark brown or black depending on age and habitat, is not only a sex symbol, but also helps protect the neck when fighting enemies or other species. Pale yellow eyes glow in the dark, Ears are always perked up like living radar devices, and 4 legs have retractable claws. All of this makes for a perfect hunting machine. Unlike the solitary image of many carnivores, lions are gregarious creatures. A group can consist of 3 to more than 10 individuals, including several females, cubs, and sometimes 1 or 2 adult males. It is thanks to this communal lifestyle that lions can hunt prey twice their own weight. There is no specific time during the breeding season. When a female is in heat, she attracts the attention of the males in the area. Mating occurs several times a day, over several days to ensure conception. After about 110 days of pregnancy, the female lion will find a secluded place to give birth. They give birth to 1 to 4 cubs. The cubs are born with their eyes closed, weighing only about 1.5 kg, but are ready to enter a world full of dangers. The female lion is the pillar of the rearing and hunting. In the middle of the red, sunburned land, their eyes are fixed on a herd of scimitar-horned oryx grazing on the edge of the forest. Dust clings to the female lion's feet as she lowers herself, every muscle coiled in an ambush position. The group is like golden brown shadows silently gliding through the dry grass. The wind stops blowing. The smell of salty sweat, the smell of dry soil, the smell of tension, mixed in the dense atmosphere. The distance was only a few dozen steps away. The leader lion chose a target. An antelope was separating from the herd, walking somewhat tiredly. It signaled with a glance, and the other 2 females began to spread their wings, surrounding from both sides. The scimitar-horned oryx still did not notice. Not a sound. They were approaching with the intention of settling things quickly. The space seemed to stop with intense struggles. A few seconds of inattention. The antelope was in a low position. 2 jet black horns pointed straight like sword blades. Its back arched, ready to fight. Suddenly, the antelope with its horns charged forward. This time, the prey resisted, making the lion alert. In just a few minutes, the hunt was paused. The lion did not want to take any risks. Those jet-black swords could pierce its chest with just one wrong move. In the scorching heat, every second lasts a lifetime. And then, just one wrong move, and blood will be shed. Kalahari Sek is no place for the indecisive. The battle does not break out, like the song of survival, where the courage of the prey makes the whole hunting pack wary. A testament to the unyielding spirit in the harshest desert of Africa. But in this arid land, no one exists alone. Next to the scimitar-horned oryx, there is a smaller, quieter, but silent companion. The mongoose. Not a challenger to the big claws, but a master at surviving against dangerous enemies. With a slim body, only about 35 centimeters long, its grey-brown fur helps it blend into the dry, dusty environment. Its jet-black eyes are always alert, and its long, flexible tail not only helps it maintain balance when moving, but also serves as a signal transmission tool within the herd. Mongooses are gregarious creatures. They rarely operate alone. A group of up to 20 individuals lives in a tight social structure with a clear hierarchy from predator to guard. While some dig for food, others are always on the lookout, ready to howl at the first sign of danger. The most special ability of mongooses is their partial immunity to snake venom. This is almost miraculous in nature. The special structure in their nerve cells prevents neurotoxins from taking effect, making them the sworn enemy of venomous snakes. The breeding season usually takes place after the first rains of the season, when food sources are abundant again. After about 2 months of pregnancy, the mother mongoose will give birth to 2 to 4 young. They will be cared for and protected by the whole group. They learn how to hunt and avoid danger through vivid lessons every day. Every step can be a test of survival. But the greatest lesson will not come from insects or lizards. But from a fateful confrontation. As the sun rose and the sand began to burn, the mongoose suddenly stopped. In the low bushes ahead, a venomous snake was coiled, its patterned body melting in the sunlight. A cobra, 1.5 to 2 meters long, its smooth body covered with iridescent scales, varying in color from copper brown to black, depending on species and age. But what made it stand out and scary was the hood-shaped hood that spread out around its neck, like a final warning sign before death struck. The venom of a cobra is mainly neurotoxin, a substance that paralyzes the nervous system. Just a few minutes after the bite, the victim's respiratory system can stop working if not treated promptly. As a carnivore, the cobra mainly hunts rodents, young birds, lizards, and sometimes even its own kind. The cobra does not actively attack larger species unless threatened. But when it feels its territory is invaded or is suddenly startled, it will not hesitate to spread its hood, raise its head, and spray venom. Some species can even spray venom into the enemy's eyes, causing burning, even blindness if not washed off in time. Amidst the dry, brittle, short grass, a small but agile figure is quietly approaching. With eyes as sharp as small blades and a nose always probing close to the ground, the mongoose does not miss any signals. This time the prey is not a mouse or a young bird. The main target is the venomous assassin. The cobra detected its presence. It raised its head, its neck bulging, forming its distinctive hood like a threatening shield. It moved in an arc, circling the snake like a small dancer. Unexpectedly, both sides charged. The tug of war lasted a few seconds. The fight ended. The snake became the mongoose's prey. The truth proved that the mongoose had never doubted this outcome. In the world of the Kalahari, victory is not reserved for the strongest. But for the fast, the brave, and the fearless. Under the bright sky of the Kalahari, where every step can rewrite fate, not only the scimitar-horned oryx or the mongoose are symbols of resilience. hidden among the low bushes and dry grass. A slender figure glides by. The cheetah. The symbol of speed. With a slender but muscular body, it has the appearance of a perfect athlete. Its body length can be up to 1.5 meters. Shoulder height is about 80 centimeters, and the average weight is from 35 to 50 kgs. The light yellow fur is evenly dotted with black spots, with 2 black stripes running from the corners of the eyes to the sides of the muzzle, to help it reduce glare when hunting in the hot sun. Unlike other big cats, the cheetah cannot retract its claws. Instead, its semi-permanent claws help it grip the ground when running. Together with a spring-like spine, a large chest that houses a strong heart and lungs, and a long tail that acts as a balancing rudder, the cheetah can accelerate in just a few seconds. But the cheetah's strength does not lie in its endurance. It is a quick and dirty hunter. If the chase lasts longer than a minute, its body will overheat and it will have to stop to recover. Therefore, every step, every movement, every stretch must be absolutely precise. The breeding season does not follow a fixed cycle. When the female cheetah enters estrus, it emits a seductive scent to attract males. After a mating period lasting several days, the female cheetah will be pregnant for about 95 days and then give birth. Cheetahs usually live alone, but sometimes males of the same litter can form small groups, increasing their ability to control territory and hunt. Their territories are often large. They hunt during the day to avoid direct competition with other predators. The main food of cheetahs is small antelopes. Under the scorching sky of Kalahari, when every living thing is trying to hold its breath, a race to the death is silently beginning. And this time, the sharp swords have become the target of this hunter. The young scimitar-horned oryx has not yet realized the threat that is gradually closing the distance. The cheetah's slender figure almost melted into the sunlight. Its footsteps left no trace, only the beating of its heart that was getting faster and faster. The cheetah lowered itself, its tail gently hitting the dry grass like a rudder. its entire body tensed, like an arrow about to leave the bow. The cheetah thought it had had its fill. Then, the mother antelope, with its long, sharp horns, the mother antelope rushed forward. The hunt ended quickly. The cheetah retreated, taking each step cautiously, its eyes never leaving its opponent, whose swords glistened in the sunlight. In the world of the Kalahari, the hunter is not always the one who has the upper hand. And today, motherly love has won over speed. As darkness gradually falls on the Kalahari Desert, where every grain of sand still bears the footprints of the survivors, life turns around. The scimitar-horned oryx, though exhausted, it still stands firm like an indomitable warrior. No one is invincible. But in this harsh world, courage, the instinct to fight back and the desire to survive are the ultimate weapons. This is not just a battle between claws and sharp horns, but an epic of life in the Kalahari Desert. If you love the survival battles of warriors, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss the fierce journeys in the wild.